Hello folks, and welcome back to part 2.
Okay, now I've got the saddles cut in all of these. Just cut these with a hole saw. Works really well, actually. So now I need to figure out my lengths. And so the welder fits between these posts. I'm going to put the tank right here, and I want to leave just enough room out here for a good handle. So let's see. So the tank needs about 6 inches. So what I'm going to do is just cut this a little bit long on this side, and then I'll trim it off later once I've got everything in place. So I'm just kind of approximating this. I know this is not straight, but once I've got the front squared up, then I can square this one up. So for the handle here, I think I'd like it to be about here. That should give me a decent amount of leverage. So I'm just estimating this a little bit, making sure I'm extra long. And this top part is going to be 41 inches. Okay, so before I get the welder out to start tacking things, I'm going to cut the cross piece here and the cross piece here, so that that's ready to go. So I'm going to do the same thing using the hole saw. I'll just cut those 2 channels across there. And I'm not sure where I'm going to put it yet. I'm going to get them ready, and then I'm going to position the welder based on weight. So I don't want it to be too heavy on the front, and I definitely don't want it to tip over like this. And so once I've got these kind of tacked in place, then I'll be able to make some adjustments. Okay, I've got my cross pieces ready to go once I've got these tacked in place. So I've already got these adjusted for length. Now squaring this thing is definitely one of the tricky parts. I'm going with 11 inches on the front. That's just great. I guess if something doesn't work, keep doing the same thing until it does, huh? Okay, so because of the width of this thing and because of the door on the side of the welder for the wire spool, I'm gonna have to have the welder pretty much sitting on top, and then I think I'll add some tabs where I need to keep it from sliding around. And so it's actually gonna sit on these two, so that's where that will be located. So I've got my center to center measurement already. In this case, it's about 17.5, so that the main part of the welder, the frame, is resting right on these two rails. Now this thing is not square, so I've got to adjust it. Okay, I like this. We've got just enough room here for the leads, so they're actually protected nicely. I'm going to square that thing up a little bit, so I think what I'm going to do is weld, well, it's pretty secure there actually. I think I will weld some little tabs on to make so that thing doesn't slide around too much. Be able to easily move that thing around. I know a lot of welding carts, they'll tilt the welder back a few degrees. I just think it's kind of silly. There's probably good reasons for it. I just couldn't come up with a good one to do it for my project, so I decided to just make everything square and level. Alright, so I gotta get this top squared up. It's not quite square still, so I'll get it squared up and finish these welds. Where's the amateur way? Okay, so here it is, the finished cart. Now, I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out. When I started this, I intended to make a nice looking cart, but it turned out to be more of a functional cart than a good looking one. But I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. I was able to add these lead hooks here. There's one on each side. That's really nice. Now the balance here is pretty good. I like it. There's not a lot of weight on the front or the back. It's pretty much balanced on the wheels, but I had to move the welder forward to compensate for that heavy tank on the back. So this is really nice. I've used it a couple of times here in the shop already. I can just pull it out, roll it around. I really like I can store it in a fairly small space and easily move it. So I can deploy this thing very quickly for projects. So far I've only used it in the shop, but I'm getting ready. I've got to do some stuff outside on the farm. So I'm pretty pleased with this. A couple of final touches I need to make, but I like how it turned out. Hopefully this inspires you to recycle something useful, something that is useless, and turn it into something useful as well. Saving Miller out.